Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs, and today I am doing my third project in this Gingerbread Man kit that I'm doing. I only have one left to sell, so if you're interested, please give me an email. Alright, so it's the Gingerbread Man stamp set and dies. The box measures, let's see, 3 3/4 by 5 1/4 by 1, and inside I'm going to give you, this is a pretty large box, I'm going to give you a few peppermints to put in, but of course you can put whatever you want. This would fit something pretty nice and big. Alright, well, long at least. Okay, so what we need today is a piece of garden green that is 10 by 8.5. I already stamped this Gingerbread Man onto Pecan Pie cardstock. I used the surprise mouth, and of course I did the buttons. Alright, so we don't have to do I stamped it with Versamark, sprinkled it with white embossing powder, shook it off, and heated it up. Alright, so what else we need? I cut out the word bubble that we're going to put "Oh Snap" in. I cut out 2 hats, one from red and one from real red and one from garden green, and I cut out the scarf from garden green. I cut the 2 pieces of the candy cane. The bottom I'm going to use, it's a one, you cut them off at the same time. So I cut it out twice. I'm using the top from the red and the bottom from the white. Alright, I'm using some cardstock that's been in my stash for a while because I need quite a bit for this large for all the kits. So we need 2 pieces that are 3 1/2 by 5, 2 that are 3/4 by 5, and 2 that are 3 1/2 by 3/4. Let me get my Simply scored. Alright, we're going to start on the 10-inch side, score at 1/2, 4 1/4, 5 1/4, and 9. Turn it to the 8 1/2-inch side and score at 1, 6 1/4, and 7 1/4. And that's it. Now fold and burnish your score lines. Alright, so now we have the 1/2-inch rectangle over here. There is a 1 inch here and here, and a 1 1/4 inch on the top. Alright, and this is what we're going to be doing. Alright, so let's start down over here. Go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up. Go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the first score line and wedge that square. And go to that last score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge that square. And that's our bottom. Okay, flip it so that the 1/2-inch rectangle is over here. Go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line. Take off the rectangle and wedge the square. Okay, go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the second score line. Take off the rectangle and wedge the square. And then we're going to cut these 4 pieces off right up above the score line. Okay, and then wedge up that 1/2-inch rectangle there. Alright, and then we're going to round the corners of this top flap. And this is the point where in the kit I will get to cut it to this point. Okay? Alright. Now let's get some tear and tape. put it on what's left of that 1/2 inch rectangle next to the score line, and then take the backing off. Okay, then we're going to flip over the whole piece, fold over the side with the tape and the other side to meet it. This is our back, so put in the tabs and put this flap down first. Okay, and that's your box. All right, before we start putting our DSP on, I want you to stamp your snowman, your gingerbread man, and then I'm going to just round off this part where the other part attaches. All right, and once we have him ready, I'm going to take this die that looks like a zigzag kind of, and I'm going to cut off some of his leg here for the oh snap effect. And I'm going to run this through my cutter and I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to pull this off, and there we have our 2 pieces of gingerbread. All right, now we have to stamp on our one piece here our crumbs. So I'm going to put my snowman down about right there. All right, and that would mean this is going to be about right there. So right in this spot, I'm going to stamp my crumbs. So I'm going to use some Pecan Pie Ink, and I'm going to take the bottom off. I'm going to try to fit the crumbs right up in there without getting this part. All right, now we're ready to put our DSP on. Okay, so this is going to go on the front. This one's the back. We have the long sides and the short sides. Okay, so now we have our box with our DSP. Let's let that dry a minute and let's work on our gingerbread man. Okay, so we're going to use the base of the green hat, and I'm going to cut the pom-pom off. I'm just going to kind of go with the curve if I can. There we go. And then we're going to cut the brim off, which is mostly opened, so you can cut that off kind of easily. And these two, you can keep them for a different one if you want to. All right, and then we're going to glue this part onto our hat. Okay, and then we have to glue our candy cane onto our white piece, the red piece onto the white piece. Fits on the edge very nicely. Okay, and that's the hat and the gingerbread. Okay, now let's glue our gingerbread onto the head, and I just match this part to the gingerbread's, the top of the gingerbread cut out. I'm going to put it on straight up and down, not tilted at all. Okay, then I'm going to attach the scarf right on his neck, and it covers up just a little bit of our buttons, but that's all right. Okay, and then our candy cane, I'm gonna not do it on the top there, but just on the bottom, not the curve. And I'm gonna put it right at the edge, right like that. All right, I'm gonna stick a little bit of glue right there at the tip. Okay, Now we need our box, which I forgot to take off that little piece of grip. Alright, now I'm going to put some dimensionals on this piece first. Oh, on both of them, I guess. Oops. And I'm going to put him like that. And then the other piece kind of like that. Okay. Now we need our bubble, speech bubble, and I'm going to use some real red ink, and I'm going to stamp "Oh Snap" right into the middle. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on this side. And just a little bit of glue. And I'm going to put "Oh Snap" just like that. For the final touch, I'm going to use some of our peppermints, and I'm going to put a large and a small up there next to the "Oh Snap," and then one of each down here. Okay, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. All my info is below. Please subscribe and hit the like button. If you would like to join my Facebook group, the link to that is there also. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.